Aloha, my name is Natalie and I want to thank you for being a part of this brief tutorial on getting to know Vizia a little bit more intimately. So on my screen you'll notice the Vizia website. This is where kind of you first want to start in engaging with Vizia. So if you haven't already created an account, you can do so by clicking Getting Started. It'll ask you for your name and your email. You just have to register, and then you'll be sent an email with a confirmation code, and then you can go ahead and access Vizia. So right now I'm going to log into my account, and I'm going to type in one of my email addresses that I don't use quite often. Oops, there we go. But I use it to register for my Vizia account. So in any case, I have my Vizia up and going, and the next step is I want to find a YouTube video that I really want to make more interactive. So I was doing some browsing and came across this particular YouTube video that I wanted to utilize. So the first step in utilizing this video is to click on the very bottom right-hand corner of my screen where it says Share. Now, clicking on this allows me to copy the YouTube video's URL. There's a bunch of other features like embedding and really placing it into a bunch of different apps, but the only thing I want to do, really for my purposes, is just to copy the URL. Okay, so after that, I'm going to go back to my Vizia page. Now my next step is I want to click on new video, so since I'm using a new video. So I'm going to go ahead and paste my URL into this URL box here, and I'm going to press continue. Alright, so I've got my video up. It was just as simple as that. Now the next step is I want to make my video more interactive, and you can do that through 4 different ways using Vizia. You can include a quiz, you can include a poll, a response, or a call to action, and we're going to kind of walk through each of these steps. So you're welcome to choose all 4 if you want to put all 4 interactions into a YouTube video. You're welcome to only use quizzes. You can use 1 or you can use 8 quizzes in a video. It's really up to you. You can be as creative or not as you want to be. So I'm, you can play the video to
When you think about VR, you think it's got something to do with 360-degree video, right? Well, not exactly. The key concept with virtual reality is virtual, not...
Okay, so I'm going to pause here, and I decided, I want to put a little quick quiz. And so we just, the narrator just talked about the key aspect of virtual reality is, virtual. So, what is the key aspect of virtual reality? And then I'm going to choose, is it reality? Is it virtual? Is it, I'm going to just make up some other options, metaphysical maybe, or is it mental? Let's just say that. And the correct answer I'm going to click on is in red. And all I do is save. And then you'll notice if I kind of scan ahead, we have this little white dot here. And that tells me that I have placed a quiz in that area. Now I'm just going to go ahead and and put a poll in here just because. I'm just going to type in what is your favorite virtual reality game? So econ maybe. And I can save it. So I don't necessarily have to put in a correct answer. And say I'm kind of scrolling along my video and I decide I want the student to put in a response. So, what do you think virtual reality will look like in 50 years? So obviously, I want to know where I'm strategically putting in these polls and these quizzes and responses, but ideally you'd be familiar with the video, you'd watch it through, and then you'd say, hey, you know, I think this is a great place to put in a whatnot. At the very end here, I'm gonna put in a call to action. So one way to put a call to action is do a little more research on virtual reality trends. And maybe click here to access a quick Google search. And then I might just open a new tab, go to Google, and then type in virtual reality trends. And I can just copy this URL and paste it right here and save it. So that takes my students directly to the page that I want them to begin researching. Okay, so I've put in all of these different types of interaction into this particular YouTube video, but we're not quite finished yet. The next step is I want to preview my video to make sure that all of my interactivity options and concepts are really lining up with the video material. So in order to do that, I need to click preview. And I'm just going to mute this volume and just play this video so we can kind of see what it looks like. So right now I should be coming up to my first quiz, and here it is. So the video has paused and I have the option. I can either answer it or I can click continue. And I'm going to click virtual and click continue. Okay, now we're coming up to my second interactivity option, which was my poll. So again, I have the option to skip, continue, or click something. So I'm going to click discovery. And then I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit just to make sure things are working. Perfect. And this is my response. What do you think virtual reality will look like in 50 years? And then I might say something like, I think it will look like 60 trends. Just kind of making something up there for the sake of time. And then lastly, my call to action. Just want to make sure that that's looking good. So here, do a little more research on virtual reality trends. I'm going to click here for my Google search, and voila, I have my web page that I wanted my students to begin searching on. So I'm going to go back to my Vizia, and I'm really feeling like, based on this preview, that things are looking really good. So my next step is I want to share my video. And so I can do that in two different ways. I can either click on the link and paste it into an email or my course as a URL, or I can even embed my video into my course, my Lalima, my Canvas, or whatnot. So it just really depends on your preference. Either or, I think a URL or embedding is great, and it really depends on your familiarity as well. Now, the really cool thing is if you want to, if you want to get a download of your students' responses, you can easily do that. You just have to make sure that you sign in with your Google account first, and then you'll actually get a response back in Google Sheets. It's pretty cool and pretty nifty. Unfortunately, today Vizia was having a little trouble with connecting to Google accounts, so I wasn't able to show you that. But in any case, I hope that you found this video tutorial helpful, and again, if you have any questions or concerns, please shoot me a phone call or an email, and I'm happy to help you. Thank you.